It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag Utah Jazz.
This has felt even longer trip than I feel like it's actually been. Like with the January being mostly on the road and then finish it with this, and feels like we're being away from home for a lot. So it feels good to go back home.
2 home games now for the Jazz. Lowry Markkanen on the long road trip. They've got 2 games before they hit the All-Star break. PK, you looking for anything special tonight as the Kings come in, and the Kings are sitting, this feels like a half dozen guys, the recognizable names.
Then we need to sit 24 guys.
Couldn't agree more.
Good. I'm glad we're in unison. It's about time you're right.
Ha! PK used to have a line back in the day after I'd say something, well, I'd agree with you, but then we'd both be wrong.
Yeah, I heard that somewhere along the line.
That was a good line. Seriously, I'm up for playing two-way, guys. What are they doing at the G League?
I've always enjoyed three-way, guys.
Stop. What are you talking about?
What? Well, if you have a two-way, why can't you have a three-way?
Because it's the 16th and 17th guy on the roster who can play in the G League or with the Jazz, and they're paid less money. Typically,
you mean like me versus you?
Young developmental.
Am I a two-way guy?
Not anymore. There was a time between 2002 and 2007. But in 2007, that came to an end.
Paycheck is why I live in Utah.
Full roster status.
I just love the land. I love the people. That's why I live here.
Cool.
I could leave any time, but I've said no, 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 and no.
I've lived in Utah too long. I don't know what to tell you.
I haven't lived here long enough. I know what to tell you. I hope to die here.
Pre-game at 6. Tip-off at 7. We'll see how many guys are running around in the third quarter that you recognize. It might get a little lean out there tonight. The Kings sitting on 12 wins with the worst record in the NBA.
I want that tatted up new dude. What's his name? Conchar? I want him 25 FGAs.
There you go. Conchar and Svi play him 48 minutes. If Isaiah Collier can, they can.
If he gets every shot attempt over 25 tonight, I'll get a tat.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
You've promised this before and you didn't do it.
This time I mean it.
You're killing me. All right, DJ and PK.
Hashtag NBA.
Another steal here for the Lakers. And Fox, oh my goodness, throws it off the backboard. The Wembanyama, the two-hand slam. 59-32. Wembanyama spots Vassell, right wing, back to Harper. Left side, Wembanyama, pull-up three on the way. Wee-wee! A 40 spot for Victor Wembanyama. His first points of the second half, and it is his 6th career 40-point game.
Victor Wembanyama, 37 points at halftime. He finished with 40. They didn't need him in the second half as they blew out the guys wearing the Laker jerseys. Not typically the players you think of. They started Kobe last night. Kobe Buffkin. But all the big names were out. So the Lakers get blown out. 136-108. Spurs now, what are they, 20 games over? 21 games over 500. Look at them fly along. Clippers inbounded the ball to themselves. That's it. That's it. You don't have to sit guys. You could just do stuff. A guy throws the ball in bounds, lets it roll up court, then he goes, picks it up. It's a turnover. You won't hear tank talk then. That was brutal, but it worked. They lost to the Rockets 102-95.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
2 guys in the backcourt. One guy inbounds it to the other. Other guy doesn't touch it. He turns and runs away. Ball rolls towards half court. The guy who inbounded it jogs 40 feet up court, picks the ball up, ref blows the whistle, turnover. That happened in an NBA game. It's fantastic.
My wife coached freshman basketball at Cortez High School in Phoenix, Arizona. The former home of Alex Cooper. And Alice Cooper. And she told them at the end of the first half, quarter, to roll it to save time. And the ball rolled, and they didn't really know what was going on. And the ball rolled, and all 10 freshman girls watched that ball roll 94 feet.
Oh, man. It was a different era. I wonder if that would happen now. I think now they've played junior jazz, maybe some AAU ball, and that wouldn't happen. Maybe.
I mean, this was in the 80s.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, just rolled in. Everyone looked at it like it was a slow-moving bowling ball.
Brandon Ingram has been named as Steph Curry's replacement in the All-Star game. Curry's injured, so he won't play. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college basketball.
BYU gets the win, 99-94 at Baylor. A.J. DeBonsa scores 36 points. Rob Wright had 30. Those two had the ball in their hands most of the game, PK. There was a brutal 5-minute stretch to end the game and a hideous 3-minute stretch in the middle of the game where BYU fell behind by 12 there. Had a really good run, up by 17 with 5 minutes to go, and then sweating it out a little bit in the final seconds. Do you care, though? It's a W. They snapped the streak. That effort wouldn't have beaten a lot of other teams. Probably wouldn't have beaten the ranked teams in the league, but they were playing Baylor, and they got the W they hadn't had in a while.
Yeah, any win on this conference on the road is really good. You just look at Arizona going to Kansas. You look at Iowa State going to TCU last night.
Yep.
Oklahoma State a week ago beat BYU on the road, then goes to the desert, loses both games. Now, obviously losing to Arizona, but in the way they lost, I mean, they got smoked. And then they lost to ASU
last night.
They have a dead man walking for their head coach. He's gone and all that. And, maybe 2,000, 3,000 people rattling around. So if you can win on the road, you take it. Houston obviously over Utah. Utah's in a rebuilding situation, so that's to be expected. But other than that, if you go to Colorado or wherever you go, if you can get a win on the road, you need to celebrate it. And sure, there's some deficiencies. Again, they allow teams to shoot over 50%. That's basically who they are now. It's amazing that everybody gets hot when they play BYU. 48% from three. I mean, come on. But A.J. DeBonsa definitively is the best player in college basketball. I mean, it is going to be so exciting for BYU fans over the next 3 years to see him develop. I can't wait till he's a senior.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to be the number one pick.
You mean when he's wrapping up his rookie contract?
Yeah, he should be. I've seen these guys. I've seen Boozer play. I've seen Peterson both times he's played this year as he continues to sit out.
Yep.
DeBonsa's long and just his strides. My wife is sitting there. She watched from the 10-minute mark to the 5-minute mark. She said of the second half, I love it when he takes those strides to the basket. I said, I know. It looks like he covers about 10 feet per stride. And he's just an incredible ball player. The one thing that confused me, you go ahead.
I was going to say, I was wondering if this confused you or if this disturbed you. They had such an easy time getting into the paint. I mean, they ran a few plays, but a lot of it was just isolation, either Wright or DeBonsa, and they just drive straight into the paint again and again and again. Yeah. And then with 5 minutes to go, you got four guys launching threes. On a night, they're 3 for 15 from three, and they missed two, and they call timeout. And I assume in there it was like, guys, take the ball to the hoop. Yeah, well, but they were 3 for 15 with the 17-point lead when they take two bad threes.
Well, obviously Saunders took that three in front of the bench.
And they called timeout, and I'm sure the message was, and they took two more after that and finished 3 of 19.
Yeah, it wasn't time and score. But I like Saunders going to the bucket more. I mean, I don't know, it's because he's not getting the FGAs, and last year he was the man. This year he's third on the totem pole.
He had to create his 14 shots, get a steal, run a fast break.
But I love the fact that he had 9 boards. The thing that I don't understand is last Saturday against Houston, he had to take out DeBonsa because he was, quote, about to pass out.
And now he plays 40.
Yeah.
So is there a conversation there? If you want to stay in and play all 40, you got to rebound and you got to defend. Now he ends up with 5 boards, but you got to compete for him. You can't be watching. And you're standing, I think you're tired. You got to go.
Well, yeah, and Kadeem Mahoop, 10 boards.
Yeah.
Way to go, son. You got one job when you're coming in. That's the ultimate team player there. He's not looking to jack it up. He's got. I'm playing. I'm getting. There's some games he didn't play, if I remember correctly, and you're playing because of your effort, your energy, and your rebounding ability. And you went and got 10 rebounds. You went and got 4 offensive rebounds, 6 defensive. Hats off to that young man for doing what he needs to do to get himself playing time, and he got 27 minutes.
What does
impressive?
What do Kevin Young's actions look like when we know he's cranky? And we know he's cranky because we heard the post game against Houston, and rebounding was a thing. And in the second half, Moop was playing well. He had the boards. It was time for him to come out, rotate or whatever. And Keita comes in. Keita gets pushed under the backboard. Houston, at a time when BYU's playing their best defense of the game, playing their best basketball, they were really good coming out of halftime. And Keita gets pushed under the board, gives up an offensive board, and then the kid turns for Baylor. I forget who it was, but he has a nice little shot, a little half jump hook, whatever, to get it over Keita. Keita fouls him, three-point play. Boop. Keita right back to the bench, move back right in the message substitutions. This is the old Steve Cleveland thing. You got to have depth. You got to have someone who can put in. Like, if you're not going to rebound, this guy will.
Yeah,
you got to rebound.
His fourth foul in that situation. And they should be able to beat Colorado, and then we'll see about next week. But DeBonsa, man, he truly is a star. He's fun to watch.
Yep.
He's my overwhelming, without question, number one player in the draft.
36 points. He only made one three-pointer. He's 1 of 4. But 14 of 20 shooting the ball, 70%. Highly efficient.
Oh, the mid-range is virtually unstoppable.
Yeah, and 7 of 8 at the line. So,
yeah.
Utah State beat Fresno State as expected. Fresno State nowhere near the top of the league. The Aggies actually alone in first place by half game now. San Diego State has the bye and will match up. Utah State plays a non-league game on the weekend, and San Diego State will play, so they'll have a chance to tie the Aggies for first place. But Elijah Perryman, the freshman, coming off the bench with 16 points, a season high for the freshman, which I guess obviously makes it a career high. And Houston beat Utah 66-52. Emmanuel Sharp, 27 points in the win, and 8 3-pointers, and school record for threes for Houston for his career. And Houston wins. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NFL.
Really excited to work with Tom, and he made the mistake of giving me his cell phone number, so he might wish he never did that because I'm gonna be calling him a lot.
Clint Kubiak introduced as the Raiders' new head coach. He also said he hopes that All-Pro defensive end Max Crosby will remain with the team, although there's persistent rumors he could be traded this offseason. A lot of people think he wants to leave, so we'll see how that works out. After the quarterback, the pass rush specialist, that's pretty much the second most important thing on the team, apparently. Those guys are getting paid, and you figure there'll be a long line for Max Crosby if they're willing to move him and he wants out.
Tom who?
Tom who? Tom Brady.
You say you got Tom's cell phone?
Yep.
What's he know?
A couple things. Super Bowl and Bad Bunny didn't set viewing records for the U.S. 125 million viewers, a little short of the almost 128 million who watched last year. The halftime show actually outdrew the game by about 4 million. Probably was hurt by people who showed up late and people who gave up when it got to 19-0. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
Another day, another bowl game falls. Say goodbye to the Motor City Bowl. Detroit, 29 years hosting a bowl game, and it's going to be discontinued. The LA Bowl is over. The Bahamas Bowl is over, so that's 3 games canceled. The Detroit and LA games were run by NFL teams, so I don't know what the MAC will do. They'll have to figure it out, I guess. Montana's linebacker Solomon Tuliaupupu has been granted a record 9th season of eligibility by the NCAA. 2 major injuries prevented him from playing during his undergrad run at USC. He endured another season-ending injury in his post-grad years, and he'll be in his 2nd season with Montana this fall. A decade, PK. Could he make it? Take another injury. 9 years, the record.
No, you always want your kids to see you play.
In a letter to NCAA President Charlie Baker, the Big Ten Conference Student-Athlete Issues Commission called for continued push to limit or outright ban prop bets based on individual college athletes to reduce harassment and protect mental health and game integrity. 51% of Division I men's basketball players reportedly have received social media abuse based on their performance, much of it coming from bettors.
So they can get off social media.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Do that. DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
Justin Verlander back to the Tigers. PK, 1 year, $13 million. Former Cy Young Award winner, AL MVP. He'd been there 12 years. Obviously, he's moved around a little bit. We all remember his time down in Houston. Think he's got much left in the tank?
He came on at the end of the season last year with the Giants. I saw him pitch against Toronto in Toronto, and he was getting smacked around a little bit. But then he got better. So, obviously at his age, he's not going to be what he was, but they're going to still pay $13 million to play ball, and it's a kid's game, and this is something you've been doing probably since you were 6 years old. Why the heck not? It's fun. Detroit's a decent team.
Yep.
And he started there, sort of
coming full circle.
Going back home in a sense.
They drafted him. All right, DJ and PK.
#golf.
Rory McIlroy making some headlines, said he likes the 4 major tournament title format. The Players' Championship, he said, does not need to be added to the majors, although he says it has more of an identity than the PGA Championship. And he also wants to see the PGA Championship return to August. I don't expect that to happen. I think that ship has sailed, but
I agree with both of what he's saying.
You want the PGA in August?
I do. Yeah.
Really, I felt like it filled a hole. And football's starting up in August.
It's practice.
Oh, okay.
What do I care about practice?
The anticipation. It's kind of a big deal.
So I'm going to anticipate a game in 3 weeks, which means I can't pay attention to the PGA?
Yeah, but I
like
like
any
May.
sense.
Yeah, I liked it in May.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
To me, July comes too fast. I want something else out there. And
the playoff doesn't do it for you. The playoff
not
and the
to
Tour
the level
Championship.
of this.
Yeah.
These guys, it goes on your record. The playoff goes in your bank account, but doesn't really go on your record, right? The Ryder Cups and those types of things, they go on you and your teammates' records, and it's important, and it's a big deal, and it's fun and all that stuff.
What if they move the Ryder Cup to August to give you something to do before there were football games?
That seems even weirder.
Okay. Two-time major winner Justin Thomas has been cleared to resume all golf activities after undergoing back surgery last November to correct a disc problem that was causing him hip pain. He said his hopes to return to the PGA Tour during the Florida Swing and get himself ready to play in the Masters in April. And Charlie Woods, Tiger Woods' son, is committed to play college golf at Florida State. His dad and his sister both went to Stanford. He's a top 10 prospect in this 2027 recruiting class, but he is going to FSU to be a Seminole.
Well, Tiger grew up in California, and obviously he grew up growing up in Florida. So probably maybe that had something to do with it.
DJ and PK. Park City High School graduate Katie Farquharson won the second ever bronze medal for Team USA in women's single luge. She had 2 strong runs in the 3rd and 4th runs of the event to take the medal stand. And Team USA women's hockey, the big game with Canada, it's all USA. They get the shutout. They win 5-0. Expect to see them again when we get into the medal round, but in the preliminary round here, the U.S. dominates Canada. There's your Olympic update. That is what is trending. It's brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. Dale Murphy, Braves legend, longtime Major League Baseball star, will join us at 8:30. Pitchers and catchers reporting this week. A lot of them showing up yesterday, and Dale Murphy will talk about the upcoming baseball season with us. And Tim Lacombe, jazz analyst for SEG Media at 9 o'clock. It's also a Win Tickets Wednesday. We have tickets to see Brian Regan at the Delta Center Saturday night. We'll give those away in the 8 o'clock hour. Stay with us. The question of the day. Hot takes or toast coming up next.
Love is in the air, and the Zone is ready to help you become a Valentine's Day MVP. Listen to 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone, and online at KSLSports.com for your chance to win 2 Grande Minky Couture blankets. Keep it locked on the KSL Sports Zone and be Valentine's MVP. Presented by Minky Couture on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
I think what Utah is doing right now is messing around with the integrity of the NBA. The ability to sit players, starters, in the fourth quarter to not call timeouts in the fourth quarter. Orlando won the game on Saturday because they basically rested players, and it backfired on them last night. So I think if you're the league, you're looking at it. All right, can we do some gimmicks? Can we alter protections and eliminate protections as far as picks, or can we put the hammer down?
Bobby Marks, NBA front office insider for ESPN. Making headlines right there, messing around with the integrity of the NBA. PK, you posted this on our Facebook page where 20 or 30 comments is normal, 50's big, 122 comments. Jazz fans have a lot to say about Bobby Marks, and it isn't real positive.
STFU, Marks.
Cameron, the, in quotes, integrity of the NBA. Bah! Laughing, crying emojis. They haven't had a gambling scandal since this year. They've had gambling scandals in fairly recent memory with officials who've been accused of favoritism by probably 2/3 of the fan bases in the league. The integrity of the NBA, Cameron laughs in your face.
The cold envelope for Ewing.
Oh.
Cleveland gets LeBron.
I have seen NBA lifers sit in a media room, people who worked in the league and drew paychecks their entire adult life, 100% sure the league arranged for Ewing to go to New York.
Integrity.
Dallas trades away their best player, franchise type, and gets Cooper Flag.
What they have, and the NBA has put itself out there and then turns a blind eye on some things, but other things they just get enraged about, and we got to listen to lectures left and right, mostly left, actually.
This specific lecture, totally predicted. Watching NBA coverage at the start of the season, Brian Windhorst, who's covered the league for years for ESPN, somebody asked him about teams that are bad, and he said, you're going to have me on after the All-Star break and ask me about the 10 teams that are tanking. And they're like, what? He goes, 1/3 of the league. It's going to be an epidemic. It's already set. Everybody knows how good the players are at the top of this draft. Everybody wants a young talent that's on a rookie contract that's inexpensive. He says everybody who figures out they have no shot at the playoffs is going to go hard to improve their draft position as much as they can. This is completely predictable. We've talked about this. You've said it multiple times. You don't have to like what the Jazz are doing. As a matter of fact, you can hate it, but you shouldn't be surprised by it. Free agency and trades aren't really a realistic path for a lot of cities in this league. The draft is the path. You can't make the trades until you draft good talent that grows up and people want to trade for it. You've got to do this. And Brian Windhorst, who has no dog in the fight, says 1/3 of the league is going to do it, and 3 months later, he's 100% right.
Wasn't that every year?
I remember when he said that. He said it happens.
7 teams. There's 5 teams.
Yeah. That was his point. He said it happens every year. It's going to be way worse this year because there's so much talent in this draft. And so, and I think your point's well taken. You know, the issue's the issue, but it becomes more obvious when most of the games you turn on have a team that's tanking, or a few of them have 2 tanking teams going against each other, and nobody's playing.
Yeah, but that's not the case.
The Lakers are going to be in the playoffs, and they sat everybody. I mean, Luka's not. They got 3 players people want to see. None of the 3 played.
Yeah, I think they're legitimately hurt.
They wouldn't play if it were a playoff game. It's not.
Well, what do they have to tank? The issue is tanking. The Lakers aren't tanking.
I think the issue for the league is the regular season, which already had been devalued to a degree, is consistently getting devalued even more.
Well, I don't think it is. I think it stays the same. It's always been devalued compared to the playoffs. Nobody remembers what Jordan did in the regular season, but we're going to recite by memory what he did in the postseason. That's the curse and the blessing of the NBA.
Go ahead.
The NBA season is too long, too many games. What do you expect these guys to do? And they've been pampered and all that stuff, and it's all about the postseason. So I actually think that what the Jazz are doing, the creative tanking, is what's getting under everybody's skin. If they would just do what everybody else is doing, nobody would have said anything.
Just shut everybody down.
But the fact that they made the trade and they want to get Jaren Jackson out there on the floor to play with the guys. And then they said, okay, how about let's go this way? And they're 1-1 with the creative tank. The CT is new, and people are up in arms about it because they thought of it and nobody else thought of it.
Well, go out and do it tonight. Yeah. Nothing's stopping you.
Yeah.
They haven't penalized coaches for their playing rotations. When a guy plays 20, 25, 30, 35 minutes, it's up to the coach.
And the Jazz, because of the way they've been reconstructed during this tank era, is allowed to be able to play a bunch of first-round draft choices. They're not playing two-way guys who, let's face it, have little to no chance of ever making an impact.
Little to no feature. But there is a chance that Sensabaugh will need to hit a big shot in the last possession or two of a game.
He's a first-round pick, and first-round picks are valuable.
Yeah.
And now Collier is a first-round pick. Filipowski wasn't, but should have been. And he's barely out of the first round, but he's obviously an NBA talent. He's got NBA skill. Mm-hmm. And Cody Williams is a first-round pick. He's the highest pick of all the players. So what are you going to do? Stick him in a summer league game when they play a bunch of guys who aren't going to be on NBA teams? This here is the best of the both. I actually applaud them. Whoever thought of it, take a bow. Somebody had to think of it. I don't know if it was Austin or somebody.
Right.
But this is a great, phenomenally great way to evaluate all the young guys. See them all together. Combine with the vets that you have. And playing the combination of Jackson and Markkanen for 25 to 27, maybe 30 minutes tops. They're still out there, and you can get evaluations. And you're evaluating in real settings. It's not practice. We're not talking about practice. We're talking about the Summer League.
Thank you, Alan.
We're not talking about in September when it's pickup ball.
We're talking about games.
Yeah, we're talking about games with referees and other players who are trying to survive in this league because it's a cutthroat, as professional sports should be. That's it. This is actually an awesome way to go about it. They ought to be applauded, but because it's a bunch of white guys out in Utah, screw them. We're going to dump on them and crap on them all we want, and all these people are going to be on there talking about it because, well, let's get it. Could you imagine if it was somebody else who didn't look like these guys, what they would be doing? They'd be running from it big time. They'd be backpedaling faster than Deion Sanders trying to make a tackle when he was an NFL player. Let's call it like it is and have honest discussion. But we don't want to. We don't want to do that. We want to just be around the edges and just go blast these guys over there. Yeah, right. And then no, they're not going to push back. They got to sit there and take it. Go to you know where. I'll pick you up and drive you there because it's obvious I'm going to be there.
The list of people who posted who were happy to give Brian an NBA history lesson was spectacular. Josh, was he unaware that Philly tanked for 6 straight years and called it the process?
Right. So we dump on these guys out in Utah.
Meanwhile, Philly
because they're barely in the U.S.
George, it's not tanking, it's load management. Ask Coach Pop. He invented it. He also worked it into top picks in the last 3 or 4 years.
Who has ever in the NBA criticized Pop?
Tony, as soon as they investigate the Spurs for tanking to get Tim Duncan, I'll listen.
But we can't criticize Pop! And we know why we can't criticize Pop! Come on.
Melody, I'm pretty sure the Nets set, and he's got a connection there, set 2 players in their last game, Agor and Porter. There are lots of teams doing this. It's a generational draft. I think everyone's jealous we got Triple J.
I think it goes far deeper than that.
Tyson, yeah, but we're far from the first team to do it. Hell, the Thunder just got done doing it, and they took home the trophy. This is really our only chance to get star players here. They're not coming in free agency.
It's the most likely pathway. I don't think it's the only way. Because I believe in the sophistication of the NBA player. I don't care what he looks like, where he's from. He can get here, see what it's about, and then think, this is a great situation. I want to be here.
David, just Utah, huh? Not Sacramento, not Indiana, not Dallas, not Memphis, not Brooklyn, not the Clippers, not the Wizards, not the Bulls, not the Blazers. Okay.
Right, because they are doing it in a creative way. The normal way of tanking is no big deal. But that game against Orlando just shot the antennas up in a manner that we have never seen. Because they played the three guys, the three if you want to include Nurkic, first three quarters, sat them, and then somebody asked Will, were you tempted to put Jaren back in? I wasn't. No. And he let the young guys do it, and then he didn't call a timeout. But somebody else, if Pop doesn't call a timeout, let them play. You don't let the defense get set up. That's genius. But Will Hardy doesn't call a timeout. Why didn't you just hand the ball to somebody else on Orlando and let them have an open layup? Because that's what we're saying. You threw the game in the manner of a gambling situation. That's what they're insinuating.
Ryan, I like what PK said. Who cares? Why punish the Jazz for doing what everyone else has done and succeeded at? Ryan didn't want to hear it. Who cares? Let him
I don't want to
off.
hear it either, but I'm not just going to say who cares. I'm going to push back. Somebody's got to push back. They can't push back. So I'll push back for them. They just got to take it. I don't have to take it. You don't have to take it. Come on, get fired up.
Sick and tired. You don't have to take it anymore. Go over to the window and yell out, I'm sick and tired, and I'm not going to take it anymore.
What do you think about the political nature of it, too? Come on. You don't think that factors in?
I said yesterday, there are places that people like to dump on, and Utah is one of them.
Why hasn't Coach Pop ever been criticized?
Maybe because he pushes back on stuff and people are intimidated by him and don't want to. I mean, for years, the league, the TV networks want to do those in-game interviews, which I find largely worthless, but whatever. And he didn't want to do it. And so the person who got sent over to do it as a job, he tried to humiliate them and belittle them on TV.
And nobody ever criticized him for it?
I'm getting to it. I know. He never took any heat for that. He was flat out rude. He was mean. The people who came to this organization from San Antonio, whenever I brought it up, they freaking defended him. Well, he's a great guy. He doesn't look it. Right. Like, what does he have on you?
Great guys don't need to be defended. They speak for themselves.
Does he have photos of you?
It's the same thing with Bob Knight. He was a bully. And we have all these anti-bullying campaigns. Oh, no, but he's really, really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. Nobody ever said that about Jerry. Jerry Sloan, the man's integrity, spoke for itself. You didn't need to apologize for Jerry Sloan.
No, it was the exact opposite with Jerry when it was clear his health was failing and, I knew I was going to have to do an obituary on him. I went to the visiting locker room, and when the coach was an NBA lifer, and I figured, well, at some point he must have crossed paths with Jerry and have some relationship. If it was someone who was a year or two into it and 35 years old or 40 years old, you don't know. But some of these guys you just know. And some of the stories I got were great about Jerry not just being great to people when the spotlight was on. He was great to people when the spotlight was off. And made sure he was great to fired coaches. And some of them, when I'd ask a question about him and look at him.
Great.
People in restaurants have stories and all that.
They would look at I was in multiple social settings, and I saw the way he treated people. Yeah,
when you went to Mexico, you got to sit in vans with him and dinners.
Really well. It was an honor.
And there were coaches who at first they would look at you like, "What are you asking me, Jerry Sloan for?" And then a couple times you could literally see the eyes click in, like, "Oh, I know exactly why he's asking. I know what this is for." And they would lock in, and they're like, "I want to make sure I give this guy his due."
And I want to make abundantly clear that I support Coach Popovich in what he did because it worked. It was smart. It was a great idea. He didn't create the system. He played by the system's rules.
Yeah, both tanking and load management.
And he ends up getting Robinson, Duncan, and Wembanyama.
Yep.
Coach Popovich is a basketball legend, deservedly so. All the praise that he gets, he deserves it.
Yeah.
Because he ran it the right way. Yes. So, yeah, I support what he did 100%. And now the Jazz are trying to do the same thing, and they're doing it in a different manner, and all of a sudden they're a bunch of bums? No. No, not at all.
It was easier for the Spurs to tank these last few years because in their rebuild, they didn't have the Markkanen acquisition, where you got an all-star caliber player who made the game 1 year, others he hasn't. But a guy can go out and get 25, is a veteran in the league, and the Jazz have kind of tried to hide him in this rebuild. And the Spurs, in their most recent rebuild, didn't have to do that. But, to your point,
but they sat Robinson
looked,
when they had him.
They did. They constantly looked at ways to whatever the rules were, maximize the advantage for them, and then they got lucky. Boston had 2 picks. Man, there's a franchise the league could have looked out for, and Boston didn't get Tim Duncan, and San Antonio did. But they managed that situation, and then the same thing with load management. Is it bad for the league? Does it devalue the regular season even further? Yes. But he was keeping his guys healthy for the playoffs, and now they've got 5 championships. So I get it. I hate it, but there are the rules. And if you don't want them to do it, cut back the games, eliminate back-to-backs. But nobody wants to give up the money, so they play 82 games long after everybody knows they shouldn't. But they do.
I don't know that they have to do it. The Statues didn't do it. Thurl didn't do it. Mark Eaton didn't do it. Oscar Robertson didn't do it. So I would push back on that. But as far as the draft, that's the way to get premier players. It's the most logical way. The system is set up for that.
Okay, we got to take a break. When we come back, why did Marks say this? You went politics. There's somebody else.
Well, that's just part of it.
Okay, but Marks thinks it's personal. Or is it personal with Marks? And we will get to that. We got a listener here who's got his conspiracy theory NBA history lesson. We'll get to that next. Stay with us.
And now, a look at traffic from the. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson.
Gail Miller always used to use the word stewardship. I used to hear that a lot. And I like that kind of concept because sports franchises do mean more than just businesses. They mean more to the community. They mean more to the members, all the things than just businesses.
Sure.
We're not doing restaurant talk radio at kslrestaurant.com.
Right.
People are passionate. They're loyal. It hits different. And I do think that you owe it to your fans to run it correctly. That doesn't mean you have to rattle off a zillion championships.
No, of course not.
That doesn't mean that you have to have ultimate success all of the time. That doesn't mean any of that. That means that you kind of owe it to be a good representation of the community. So many people, the only thing they know about Cleveland is their joke football team.
Hear Jake Scott and Ben Anderson every day from 10 to noon on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. A reminder to join JJ and Alex at the RV Show Thursday from 3 to 6 at the Mountain America Expo Center in Sandy. This is your opportunity to shop, compare, and buy the RV of your dreams. Jazz fans riled up. Bobby Marks, NBA front office insider for ESPN, said what Utah is doing right now is messing around with the integrity of the NBA. Do you agree? And Jazz fans overwhelmingly do not agree. Motivations. A lot of people come up with a lot of different theories on motivations. Andrew says, and the thing I know about Bobby is, and this is from his, the dates may be off, but it's ballpark right. This is from his Wikipedia page. He started as intern with the Nets in 95, rose to the organization assistant general manager in 2010, was there for 5 years, and went to ESPN in 2017. So he was there, part of their front office when they made their 2 finals appearances in the early 2000s. He was the longest tenured member of the front office. And Andrew, Bobby Marks is angry because Danny Ainge fleeced him when he was in Brooklyn. You buy that, PK? It's personal?
No.
Good NBA history lesson. Even if that's not the motivation.
No. I think it's because it's a new way of tanking. And it's actually, if you're going to tank, it's a great way. And they made the big-time trade to acquire Jaren Jackson, and fans want to see him out on the floor. We want to have hope for next season. Mm-hmm. And in 2 games, he's given us hope.
Yeah.
He's a player, right? And now by extending these guys. Having Ace Bailey play 30 minutes is brilliant.
It's only going to help him, right?
Yeah.
Sensabaugh has now hit a big shot in the final minute of the game. And you can see him smiling come off the court.
He can make shots.
He thought he could do
shots
it.
in his
Now
sleeve.
he's done it.
Yeah. And
Right, but if they're playing the other guys, that shot's going to be for Jackson or Markin.
I know. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he can make shots in this league.
Right.
I've seen enough of him in the time that he's been with the ball club to know he can make shots. If he's open, he can make a shot. It's as simple as that. More often than not. I'd be interested to see in wide open situations what his shooting percentage is. Guys like him, the percentage that they shoot is sort of misleading because if you're open, and then when you're playing with better players, they get you open shots. I mean, you can go back in the history. Magic Johnson made a lot of people a lot of money because he got them the ball when they were open, right? We saw with Joe Ingles being able to get people the ball when they're open. And they can make shots, yeah. Open shots for these guys. For some of them, it's darn near a layup the way they can shoot the ball, right? And I'm agreeing. Why not? Have the ball in Sensabaugh's hand, particularly now with George having these ankle issues. It seems like he's been tweaking them and stuff, and have them out there. Have Cody Williams. He needs to play. He just needs to play, man.
No better time to make mistakes than now.
And all these other teams don't have. How many guys do they have in the last 2-3 years, first rounders, including Flipper?
The Jazz went.
They traded obviously Hendricks.
Was it
and Clayton?
Yeah, but at their peak, did they have 9?
Right,
they had 9 draftees.
Right, so now they got they.
No, they
sent
moved.
those two.
They moved a couple of them on.
You got to play them.
Yep.
And Filipowski deserves to be counted as a first-round pick. You have to play him. And how many other teams have that many guys that were taken in the draft in the last 2 years? So they're not in that position to do that, to play all these kids. The Jazz are. Get them out there. Yeah.
Those other teams also aren't in the position to hide 2 All-Stars now, which the Jazz are.
But they're not hiding them. They played them 20-some minutes. They played them more than half the game.
That's a good point. Hiding them in the fourth quarter.
Fine.
Yeah.
That's why it's a genius idea. Fourth quarter's crunch time. Would you rather that they sat out the first quarter? No.
No, apparently Marks would have rather they sit out the whole game.
Yeah, that's ultimately is what you're saying.
Which is going to happen here over the final
and it has to happen.
28 games.
No one is going to hand the Jazz anything. It's like I refuse to ever criticize someone who takes the money. Because if that person doesn't take the money and then later on doesn't get it, who's giving it to them?
Who's going to hand it to them?
Right. So they have an opportunity to get money. Get it. Get the money, man. I will never, ever criticize. If somebody's got $100 million in the bank, that's another story. But we're talking about these kids in college and so forth. And so they go because Alabama offered them $1 million. And you were Levitt. He took the money. He took the money and run.
No guarantee the NFL's going to give him the money,
right?
Or anybody else after that.
And the Sun Devils, they need to stock a team, not stock a bank account of a quarterback. So he left. Does it suck? Yes. But you get the money and you take it. Same thing here. Man, if they don't get this draft pick, the league isn't saying, we feel really sorry for you. You've been a model franchise since Larry Miller got it going, say, like 1985.
40 years.
So basically 40 years.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate what you're doing out there because you sell out darn near every game. Your fans are passionate, blah, 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 blah. You do it the right way. Here's a draft pick. Merry Christmas. Who does that? This is the system. You don't like the system? Complain about the system. But complaining about and taking shots at the teams who are abiding by the system? No. And it so happens it's the Jazz, and that's our team. I get it. And I have a bit of homerism. I'll be the first to admit it. But it could be any team.
DJ and PK, when we come back, big announcement we've been promised. Well, we were promised it yesterday. We will get to that. What could it be? That's coming up. Stay with us.